What's going on, guys? Your boy Joey Shake 72 coming in, guys, with you right now. Well, we lose 24-9 against the Green Bay Packers. I don't give a fuck about the score. I just want to go through analysis of what the fuck's going on with this fucking team after what I've seen this first preseason game. Two things that really stand out to me during this preseason game, which Mac Hollins is very productive, caught a touchdown pass, and really stiff-armed two people for a touchdown. The guy is big at 6'4", and he stiff-armed two people. He actually caught a few balls tonight, which is fucking excellently great. Had no problem with Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins looks very nice out there. So, very happy that we have a receiver that could be on the rise. Happy with that. Another standout today was Derek Barnett with 2 sacks in the first half. He looks fucking good. And on top of all that, he gets off the ball so quick. I was watching him, and just his explosiveness off the line is amazing. And his bend around those tackles are just great. So 2 sacks for him in the first half. It wasn't even with the first team. I can't imagine how much he progresses and actually works with the first team defense and see what he can do. I'll be very happy, but his production is very good. So those two guys really stood out to me a lot. Starting with the fucking offense, you can't really take too much from, even if we did good, you can't really take too much from it. It's just because you only run about 10-15% of your playbook within the first 2 series. So I know they weren't going crazy with any play they could get, but they wanted to get some guys touches. Jordan Matthews had a few good catches. One catch, he actually got physical with a defensive back and got around him with his physicality, went around, got a few more yards. Jordan Matthews he definitely showed up, and pretty much his presence was definitely felt. Grabbing those balls in, dropped one, did actually pretty good. Nelson Agholor only was targeted 1 fucking time in the 2 series, so he barely even had anything thrown to him. So I really give nothing towards Nelson Agholor, but they just have to give more plays to him. The offensive line, I think the only 2 that really stood out to me was Isaac Samalo and Lane Johnson played very well. Jason Peters looked a little weird. Jason fucking Kelsey, my fucking God. Jason Kelsey, I swear to fucking God, if you start doing this shit this year, when Carson Wentz has to be like, to get the fucking ball in his fucking hands, I swear to God, I swear to God, do not do this shit this year. Do not do this shit this year with, you can't even fucking hike the damn ball, okay? Can't even hike the damn ball. Get the ball in Carson's fucking hands when he needs the ball, okay? I swear to God, it's already happened a few times where literally he's fucking slapping his hands 20 million times for Jason Kelsey to get the ball off the damn, just piking under his damn legs. Can't even do that. So Jason Kelsey, I swear to fucking God, if this shit happens all year, I'm gonna be pissed. I can't believe as soon as I see him slapping his hands, I can't believe that this shit was happening again with him. I know it seems like it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal because Jason Kelsey has shot himself in the foot on how many fucking times last year by getting driven off the ball. But he blocked okay. He didn't do horrible. Our right guard, Brandon Brooks, wasn't in this game. So Chance Warmack had to start. And honestly, he didn't do really good. A few blocks. He could. One guy wasn't pressured. One guy pressured Carson. Probably a safety pressured Carson. Nothing really happened except the guy wasn't even touched. So I don't know. Missed assignment. I don't know. Whatever the fuck it is. Missed assignment. So Chance Warmack definitely got beat a few times. So Brandon Brooks there makes a huge difference. Any starter that's not playing within your first fucking team is going to make a big difference. So within the few steps that he had. And Carson looked okay. I mean, he was moving around the pocket a little bit, not as much mobile as I thought he was going to be. LeGarrette Blount is going to be fine. They're just running plays. Even with every team playing in the first preseason game, the first 2 series that they're playing, they're just running some plays to get some. They just need to give some guys some reps to see how they look, just to get some guys on tape. You know what I mean? How everything's looking with the run game. LeGarrette Blount, he got stuffed in the backfield probably twice, but there was at least 1 or 2 runs where he actually, got some yards, and he was really hard to bring down, which was great. So I'm very happy with that. Let's see. You pretty much have... Let's see, you go to the defensive side of the ball was one of the main priorities that we really had to watch. The defensive line didn't do too bad. Chris Long, I think, played with the second, third team, something like that. He got some pressure, so he's very productive getting pressure. As long as he gives pressure, I'm all for Chris Long being a backup defensive end, a depth defensive end. We already talked about Derek Barnett. I can't wait to fucking see him move up. Hopefully he moves up the depth chart. Just see what he could do. But, man, 2 sacks in the first half. Fucking excellent from Derek Barnett. And let's go to our corners. Jalen Mills had a terrific fucking game. He was a ball hawk. He was crisp. As soon as the ball was thrown to the flat, he was down there making the tackle. Jalen Mills looks fucking excellent. He really has worked his ass off this whole offseason. Jalen Mills, I give 100% confidence to. Out of his first preseason game, wow. He definitely wowed me. He looks like a different player out there just from the few series that he was in. Looked fucking amazing. Patrick Robinson probably was the guy that actually didn't look too bad. He kept his composure. I think one ball was underthrown, and the wide receiver just came out enough to grab it right before it hit the ground. He had his hands pretty much on the turf with his hands moved up, caught the ball right in front of Patrick Robinson. Went out for a far pass, but Patrick Robinson actually looked not too bad, and I'm really surprised, actually. But I don't know how, but it can go both ways, because I don't know how, if he was on the field longer for the whole entire game, how good or how bad or worse he can actually be. So that was a whole thing with that too. But these other quarters got burned today, guys. I'm sorry, but you got Mitchell White was burned. C.J. Smith was fucking burned today by Jeff Janis. Literally, he got faked out really bad. C.J. Smith is, he doesn't have enough build. He got beat. A lot of these guys got beat today. Okay, Russell Douglas, I saw him break up one pass today. I don't know how long Russell Douglas was in the game for today at all. But the corner situation is not looking good. We fumbled the ball way too much. I know we had some no-name fucks that we don't care about. Billy Brown, the tight end, he fucking fumbled. Trey Burton, he fucking fumbled too. And Trey Burton looks a lot more athletic this year than he did last year. He looks really good. But danced around, fumbled the ball. I'm okay with Trey Burton. Hopefully he's not doing that in the regular season, but I mean, he looks really good. Yards after catch. He looks more elusive, more athletic. I'm happy with him. These corners, oh boy, they're just getting beat. There's no, other than Jalen Mills and other than that, really nothing special. Patrick Robinson, I need more evaluation on, because he actually looks solid. I know he brings that veteran presence, but at the same time, there really wasn't any contested catches with Patrick Robinson too much. So it really didn't wow me to death seeing, I was actually kind of like, oh, all right, well, he's doing good. He's covering the guys. He's not losing, he's not getting separation. He's not letting separation unfold too much. He's actually getting close to his receivers. He's getting on the ball. He's getting on the receivers as soon as they're about to catch it. So, he's not really having a really bad day. I just can't take much from one preseason game. I just see definitely 2 guys that stood out were Matt Collins, Derek Barnett. Michael Kendricks had a fucking interception. Caleb Sturgis can't fucking miss a damn field goal. This guy, he's the only kicker on our roster. Okay, we don't have another kicker trying out. Okay, maybe they should bring another kicker in and see who's better, because I don't know. He can't miss. What does a kicker do all the fucking offseason? He kicks field goals. That's all you're fucking doing. So there should be no excuse he should be missing a 45-yard fucking field goal. So I was kind of disappointed in that to an extent. Corey Clement, running back, did all right. He had some later in the game. He had some really had some good runs, and then especially catching the ball. He doesn't have to really reset his feet to run. He catches the ball and swiftly turns around, and he's got some good speed. I'd like to see him with the second team offense, maybe the first team offense, to see what he can do more. So Corey Clement definitely can make practice squad. I think he's definitely going to make something on this team. Maybe not definitely not the roster, but I think practice squad would be good for him. But he's pretty talented. I'm not taking anything away from him. We got to see some Donnell Pumphrey today. He was with the second team, and he was with the third team running the ball for a little. The second team more than the third team, just a little bit. Running him up the middle is just not a good fucking idea with him. I mean, he wasn't with the first team offensive line, full healthy, everybody there. So Donnell Pumphrey was just running into a fucking brick wall every time they handed up the middle, running into a wall, and that was it. I want to see more from special teams, especially Donnell Pumphrey getting the punt returns. I know they weren't going to play Sproles at all. We don't need Sproles to play. Donnell Pumphrey at least had, every punt return. They couldn't even block for the punt returner. So I just want to see that they have to get good looks. They pretty much have to get good looks from these guys. And the one punt return that Donnell Pumphrey had where he had space, he had about 3 guys miss him. He had a 28-yard return, so he made guys miss. So Donnell Pumphrey is going to come along very well, and he could be used on this first-team offense. They could line him up anywhere with LeGarrette Blount or with Darren Sproles if they need to get a quick pass, a quick flat pass to get a quick first down from how small and how little his legs are. He could definitely pass by guys like it's no problem. So Donnell Pumphrey definitely showed a good amount of things today, especially for what's yet to come. And if he plays with the first-team offense and they put him in at certain positions where they want to use him a certain way, Donnell Pumphrey's going to be nice. I have no regrets of Donnell Pumphrey being on this team. I think he'll definitely do something within the NFC East this year. And other than that, that's really it. I mean, quarterback-wise, I know Nick Foles wasn't around, because I was fucking getting tired of seeing Brett fucking Huntley fucking being in the whole fucking game today. But, I mean, most of the game at least. But, Matt McGloin was... I didn't really like Matt McGloin at all. The guy just looked I understand he's a backup. I'm not trying to trash the guy, but he's nothing special. I think Dane Evans at the end of the fucking game looked better than Matt McGloin. At least with Dane Evans, he could move around the pocket and his throws looked more accurate. McGloin, he just looks like all over the place. Like he just takes the ball and he just fucking wails his shit. He just looks, he's been around, but at the same time, he just doesn't look settled. So I would probably go with Dane Evans over Matt McGloin. Put Dane Evans on practice squad so far because I've seen better. I actually like seeing Dane Evans move around the pocket, throw nice passes. Shelton Gibson had a really bad fucking day. David Ward had a really bad day. Shelton Gibson got some separation, but the one wide receiver that really made a huge difference today was Bryce Treggs. Caught a lot of balls today. I'm not gonna lie. For a guy that he was the one shine wonder during that Giants game for a deep ball, and then he kind of disappeared the rest of the year. He actually made some really good catches today. He got to open a lot today, so maybe he's climbing up, gonna make the roster. I don't know. Bryce Treggs, don't really know. Don't know if they'll take on him. Maybe keep him on practice squad, whatnot, and then move him up later on if we have to because of injury or something like that. But Bryce Treggs definitely had some really nice catches today. Actually beat Kevin King, guy I played with Sidney Jones for Washington. Was drafted in, I think, the second round, Kevin King. I'm not sure, second or third round. Beat Kevin King on just a nice little deep zone catch right on the sideline. But, I I know I'm all over the place with this, but, you know, from the few plays that we saw with this series, I know Alshon Jeffrey wasn't playing, and it was kind of like hard to watch at the same time. You know, Torrey Smith didn't get any targets at all. I mean, there's only so much they can do in 2 series, so you know, it is what it is. But it will come together shortly, okay? Ron Brooks left the game with, the cornerback Ron Brooks left the game with a hamstring injury, so I don't know how that's going to go. Holly Pulivati Vaitai, he was holding his knee on a play, did not look good. He couldn't walk on his own. He's the backup for Jason Peters and Lane Johnson, so that's really not good. He's pretty much our next tackle that subs in for Lane Johnson or Jason Peters. You know, not looking too good with that. So I don't know what his injury is. I don't know. They probably won't discuss it until tomorrow, until they know really what's going on. Hopefully he didn't tear a fucking ACL, MCL, whatever the hell it is. I'm hoping, I'm praying to fucking God that didn't happen with him. But the corners are you know, between Jalen Mills, Patrick Robinson Jalen Mills did amazing. I'm sorry. He as soon as that ball was thrown to the flat, he came right in, beat a man in front of him, came right in, tackled that running back. I mean, he did amazing. Jalen Mills really looks like a different player out there. I'll say that again. Looks like a totally different player. So what we could take from this preseason game is that we kind of know the people that shine. We kind of know, you know, the people that really didn't do anything. And there wasn't enough looks, because, you know, when you got a backup quarterback in there with a third string or fourth string offensive line, some guys I've never even fucking heard of. You're not going to get looks for any players because there's too much pressure, or they're not blocking, or they're getting fucking beat. And so, really, even with the Green Bay Packers, their second string, third string wide receivers were fucking tearing us apart, and our corners just could not hold it. I think Terrence Brooks, safety, he had an all right game. He made some tackles. You know, he stopped some guys. Made, I think, one behind the line of scrimmage. You know, but between C.J. Smith and Mitchell White, Russell Douglas, I didn't see too much of him. Either they weren't throwing his way. I see one pass breakup, you know, but other than that, that was pretty much it. At least what we're seeing with the defensive line is they're actually getting pressure. I see a lot of pressure getting done. Now, the next thing is, you can have the pressure. See, what people think is, I know what as Eagles fans, we know we're going to have a top 5 defensive line this year. But the problem is, if we don't hit the quarterback, if we let the quarterback get out of the pocket, our corners are going to be working harder. Then it becomes a scramble drill for the quarterback. It becomes a scramble drill, and then these fucking corners have to work 10 times harder to stay on those wide receivers and to make a play. If we get pressure, it's a good thing. But if we don't make the tackle, if we start missing tackles in the backfield, it's going to get ugly on a fucking deep pass. And that's what can happen. So not even just the, the pass rush, but getting to that point where it's going to become a scramble drill for the QB, and then these corners have to work 10 times harder to go get and stay on that wide receiver. We gave the ball up way too much tonight. I think, what, 4? I think 5. I think we had one at the end almost. I think we did have one at the end. I'm not really sure. 5 turnovers. 4, 5. I think 5. I think it ended up being 5 turnovers, I think. And 4 or 5 still, it's a lot. It's too many. Way too many turnovers. And they got to hold on to the fucking ball. I didn't see too many drop catches. But, you know, it is what it is. Jalen Watkins, he played like shit too. Jalen Watkins was fucking horrible. It's this corner spot is really bad. And I already see it firsthand. And you know, none of these guys can really cover too well. You know, C.J. Smith, I thought I heard from some people he would be a big sleeper. Maybe he had 1 or 2 pass breakups, but he got beaten on the plays that mattered the most, and that's the deep ball. He literally got faked by Janis on a little fucking juke and then ran back up. He got faked out, fucking touchdown pass. I'm not worried about the special team touchdown by number 11 from the Packers. I forgot his name. But, you know, Dave Phipp is definitely putting guys. Dave Phipp does the whole depth chart for the special teams for the attacking punt group. the attacking punt group. He's definitely moving players around. I'm not worried about that because I know there's backups in there that he's putting certain guys in spots to where he's just seeing what they can do, so so at least we'll have them on tape so they can get the best guys for the punt unit, for the attack punt unit. So I'm not worried about that. That was just a fluke. Like, they just fucked up, missed a few tackles, and he got upfield and scored a touchdown. So can't take too much from this, but we already know corner's really fucking bad. What stood out the most was fucking corner today, and a lot of guys can't fucking cover anybody. And from the guys that, I'm not saying we have to cut anybody, I'm saying that I think it's time for them to look outside the organization and try to bring somebody in, because I think we need somebody out there. Corey Graham, I really wasn't paying attention. I think I totally forgot about Corey Graham, so I don't know where the hell he was on the field today. So, I mean, it's a loss. I mean, I'm not taking it personally. It's preseason. I didn't care about. I barely even looked at the scoreboard. I just was like, I want to see some good things from the corners, the wide receivers, every position. That's all. This is what the preseason. Going on fourth down. You know what I mean? This is all good things. When they went on fourth down with LeGarrette Blount, he almost crossed the line. He was this close, but then he got pushed back. I mean, shit's gonna happen like that. But LeGarrette Blount looks nice. I'm not gonna lie. He's big. He was really hard. He was getting those extra 5 yards, almost getting taken down, but they couldn't really knock him down in time. So. He's looking good. He looks very good in Eagles green, and I can't wait for him to run for us. And Alshon Jeffrey wasn't playing, and I'm glad he wasn't playing, and didn't need him out there. Would it make a difference, if he was maybe out there? Yeah, it could have made a difference, definitely. He's a weapon itself. But Carson Wentz, he was, he looked a little frazzled. He just gotta, he'll be fine. After the whole offense will be fine. After, you got to get through some of these preseason games. Once they get to, the third preseason game, against Miami, they'll be playing for a whole half. So they'll get definitely some reps, some time. It's going to be in Philly. I can't wait to go. And so, a loss for the Green Bay Packers in preseason. But, this is all an evaluation period. I'm not going to take it personal. But the biggest problem and the biggest concern that I'm seeing is cornerback. And linebackers didn't look too good either. But the pass rush looked the best today. Even from the backups. The pass rush actually looked good. I know Alex McAllister got some pressure today. Elijah Qualls got some pressure today. Derek Barnett had 2 sacks in the first half. Brandon Graham made a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Fletcher Cox was... Jordan Hicks made a guy fumble. A running back fumbled the ball. Fletcher Cox was getting almost double teamed. He just had one hand wrapped, or had a guy in front of him, one hand wrapped around the running back, and then Jordan Hicks came in and slapped the fucking ball out. So it was nice. This defensive line, there's no shadow of a doubt, with the first team of linebackers are going to do very well. It's just these fucking corners. I need to see more from Patrick Robinson. A solid day for Patrick Robinson, but I definitely got to see more from the vet. And, if he does all right the next few games, I'll feel a little bit more comfortable. But for outside corner, I don't know. I really don't. Russell Douglas, 1 pass breakup. Howie might have to make one more move this season. And that's just to bring somebody in, at least. Because it ain't looking good, guys. It is not looking good at cornerback. I wouldn't even fear, if I was the opposite team, I wouldn't even fear the cornerback position. Definitely on these wide receivers. So someone's gonna have to go. But that's all I want to say, guys. So next week, next week's just another week. So we'll see the news that comes this week, and injury-wise, and see what's going on, and then that's about it. So it was a good night. At least there was some Eagles football. I'm glad, football's back, thank God. So let's see His corner position. Let's just see what this corner position is going to bring us. Because it ain't looking too good right now. This offense I'm not worried about. Like I said before early in the video, there's only so much how many plays they're going to run. So I'd like to see Nelson Aguilar get more touches. I want to see that, at least get, the ball thrown his way. But Mac Hollins, man, he's definitely on the rise. He looks like he's on the rise. Looks very good. So, all right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Fly Eagles fly. See you guys.